TM mobile.
Yeah. I'll go do it. Somebody must have shut it off then. Yeah. No, it's shut off. Yeah. 50 years old. I remember when she turned 30. You know, she had me when she was 18. So.
David, can you tell Scott Wood here how to turn the AC on?
You do?
He's right here. Hold on. Scott, there you go. All right. Are we ready? Is it 7 o'clock?
Yeah, so, Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the council chambers. We don't have
Scott.
Trying to figure out how to turn the AC
Yes.
on.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks. Okay. Thank you. Can you just have Jonathan find one that's right in the cleaning closet and they'll turn it right on? Jonathan.
Let's go. This meeting of the Haverhill School Committee will now come to order. Would you please call the roll?
Attorney Miguel Kitty.
Present.
Mrs. Danahy.
Here.
Mr. Tui. Mr. Bevilacqua.
Here.
Mrs. Ryan Ciadello.
Here.
Mr. Wood.
Here.
Mayor Fiorentini.
Here, would you all please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Welcome, all of you. All teachers, welcome. Glad to have you here at the Haverhill School Committee. You're welcome any week, any time. It doesn't have to be about a contract. Please feel free to come to our meetings. We welcome you very much. The first item on the agenda is public participation. Is there anyone here for public participation?
You gonna stay?
I don't know. Welcome, Mr. Cunha. For the thousands watching, if you'd give your name and business address.
Joe Cunha, and I am a music teacher at the Bradford Elementary School. And
A very good one indeed. And if you're going to talk about contract negotiations, tell me so I can leave.
Oh, I am not talking about contract negotiations
All right,
for
welcome
the
then.
teachers nor for the ESPs, so everybody can stay seated. There's no worry with that. We're here to talk about the budget and trying to get more money into the school budget. The school committee works very hard to do what they can with very little, I think, and it's time that everybody works to put more into that budget. And we are here because the meeting 2 weeks ago, there was a statement made that everybody must be happy. People come to meetings only if they are angry. And you don't like to see a lot of people. I think you said you feel like crawling under the table because, you know, if they're angry with you. We have over 100 people out in the hallway, and I believe this hall seats 80. We're here, and we are angry. Are we here, people? Yeah! And are we angry? Yeah! Now, I promised them we were just going to come, let everybody see us. Thank you for your hard work. And then they can go and bring their families back to their homes. We have some young ones here as well who are staying up a little bit late. Time for them to go to bed. We know you're busy people. We don't want to take too much of your time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Joe, I missed you last night. We had the wrap-up of the budget, and the only issue on the agenda was where does the extra money go? Now, I proposed that it go all to the Haverhill Public Schools. I really needed your support, Joe. I was so disappointed that you didn't show up. Not a
Last night.
night.
Tuesday night we were out.
No, last night was the budget wrap-up. Tuesday night was the school budget.
Right.
I proposed that all the extra money go to schools.
Yeah.
Was I right or wrong?
Well, what I think you're right about is extra money goes to schools.
Thank you.
But that we don't just make it extra money, we put more money in. So that's
I
not
agree.
just the extras and leftovers you're giving to the schools.
I agree.
But you make it your business
I agree,
to
Joe.
find more money and
Joe,
put it in there,
I'm with
whether
you
it's
100.
Medicaid money that's coming back,
With you.
whether it's going and
I needed your
stretching to the limit of 2.5.
Joe, I needed your support. Last couple of nights, I so wish you'd been there. But that's all right. We got it through.
I think they're saying it sounds like a cop-out, Mr. Mayor, and they're not easily fooled.
All right. Thank
Now,
you.
while we were negotiating last night, where were you to support us?
With a touche, Joe, touche. All right, anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is the Student Advisory Council report. Mr. Benjamin Roy.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to report about the functions of Haverhill High School. So 2 weeks ago, we had Senior Chapel, which was a resounding success. I'd like to thank everyone here who showed up for that. I received a book as an award during that, and I can say that I've read it because I read one page before I came here. So, but trust me, I'll read it over the summer when I have more time. Senior graduation was a huge success. I personally attended, and I thought it was resounding and touching. And I'd like to thank everyone for speaking there that did, and everyone for showing up. Not only for myself, but on behalf of all the students of Haverhill High School and the teachers as well. As well, with only a couple weeks of school left and finals fast approaching, Haverhill High School is preparing to finish the year strong. I can say personally, I'm studying in all my classes, and we're all preparing to take the finals and then take our long-awaited summer break. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great job, Mr. Roy. Next item on the agenda is the superintendent comments and report.
I only have one item this evening. Mayor, as you know, you've been working with various people in the school department, and particularly at the Tilton School, to bring about a playground for the children up at the school. And the Pentucket Bank has stepped forward and by working with some of the teachers up there, and has generated, and tonight we're very pleased and proud to have Leanne Eastman here from the Pentucket Bank, who has a check for $20,000 that she would like to present to the city to help defray the cost of that playground. So Leanne, if you'd be so kind as to present the mayor with that check, and if you'd like to say a few words, you're welcome to come up to the podium and so do so.
Well, thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you.
Well, we're thrilled to do it. Tilton School is certainly most deserving of a playground. The students really needed that. And, with a wonderful collaboration between some of the faculty and teachers up at the school department under Superintendent Scully, the city of Haverhill, and, certainly from our position at the bank, we're thrilled to be able to present this check and can't wait to cut the ribbon so the students can go play and enjoy it all summer long after the school year is out and, for years to come. So we're really glad to be here.
Thank you so much. Combination ribbon cutting groundbreaking is Monday. Do you know the time?
10 a.m. Yep,
10 a.m. Everybody is invited, everybody listening, everybody in the room, and we're absolutely thrilled. We used our community development block grant money. We needed a supplement, and the Pentucket Bank stepped up to the plate with $20,000 so we could provide those children with a great playground. And I'd be happy to accept the check, but we have a couple people with comments first. Mr. Bevilacqua.
I just want to say thank you. I think this is another example of the business community helping our community, helping these kids, helping everyone in the neighborhood. And obviously, I love Tilton School. I went there for the first 6 grades, and I think it's a great opportunity to help our schools. And it's another way in which we're putting money back into the education program because you're providing funds that we don't have, and you're making a real difference. So it's not only going to be used by the kids, but it'll also be used by the neighborhood. I think it's a great opportunity, and thank you to Pentucket Bank, and Leanne especially, thank you.
Thank you
very much.
We're
Mr.
happy to do it.
Magliochetti.
Thank you. Leanne, thank you very much, and thank you for being here to represent the bank. I just became an incorporator at Pentucket Bank, and this is one of the reasons why I accepted it, and I'm proud to be part of that bank. They give a lot back to the community. Last year, when the girls' volleyball team was raising money, I spoke with you about it, and you wrote a very generous check on their behalf and enabled that to happen. And again, you're stepping up for the children in the city of Haverhill at my alma mater, Tilton School. And I know it was your father's alma mater. You just mentioned that as well. And of course, it's Joe Bevilacqua's alma mater. We all know that. But I can't thank you enough, and thank everyone at the bank for everything they do, not only for the school system, but for the community at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wood.
Hi, Leanne. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it. And thanks again to Pentucket Bank. They always stepped up when I called you a few months ago and we needed your help on the opiate crisis and we didn't have the money in the budget. You guys stepped up and wrote a check for us to do that. You've been very supportive of the school system and the community as a whole, and we want to thank you and Pentucket Bank, but especially you and the wonderful job you've done there over the past couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take that check. This is a really big deal. I'll come over there again.
Picture? Does anybody have a
Photographer
camera?
now.
Oh, okay. Very good, thank you.
On behalf of the city of Haverhill, I'd like to thank them for Pentucket Bank. I look forward to seeing you Sunday. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. We should maybe, Leanne, maybe all these school committee members that mentioned that they went to that school, we should maybe look up their behavior records and,
We'll see if they show up on Monday.
I had no idea Joe Bevilacqua went to that school. He didn't mention that tonight.
I have no other, comments, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. The next item on the agenda is school committee communications. Are there any school committee communications? None? Subcommittee reports? Any subcommittee reports?
Just a quick update, Mayor. Relative to the opiate crisis, we have a speaker coming to Haverhill High School tomorrow. We'll be speaking to the entire freshman class. And this time, because we had brought him into the middle schools, he agreed to do this for us free of charge and volunteer his time to come up here and donate to the kids of
wonderful.
Haverhill. So we have that going on tomorrow in 2 different sessions because the freshman class is too large to fit in the auditorium. Second thing I just want to let everyone know is I had a chance to speak with Laura Mayer, our addiction and recovery specialist. I met with her for a couple hours last week. She will be presenting at the last school committee, at the next school committee, which is the last of the month at the end of the year. And she will have the breakdown on the numbers of kids that she's seen, what the reasons were for those visits, etc. There are some problems, certainly, that we're running into here. That there's some hiccups in trying to get people to understand what we set the position up for. I've spoke to the superintendent about that. I've asked him to address it, and I think he will be addressing that at the beginning of next week so that people understand exactly and that everybody's aware that that position is available for middle school students, parents, or high school. So I think we want to make that clear. And we will be doing a better job of getting that message out.
Thank you very much. I'm not really sure who's next. Who has the light on over here? Ms. Danahy?
I have a report on the Wellness Committee. We visited the 4 middle schools and we targeted wellness issues, diet, phys ed, I should say, what the children do during recess, and if there's times that recess time is taken from them. And we evaluated the 4 middle schools, and so we will have a report on the last school committee.
Thank you so much.
Check her.
Mr. Magliochetti.
Thank you.
The woman, make sure she's all right.
I really would like to see us have
Joe.
a detailed discussion. I mean, this issue, I was just informed of another death that has to do with this, and it really is affecting a lot of people in the community. I would like to have a more detailed discussion. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the wellness program in the high school and the wellness teachers that we have. And then we have the counselors, but maybe we do need to integrate more in education. I mean, I think the speakers are great, but they're an occasional thing. I would like to see more of an everyday presence dealing with the issues. So just to have more of an open dialogue among the committee, maybe we'll put it on the agenda at future dates and just try to see a more comprehensive program to deal with the issue.
Thank you so much.
Just so you know, the position, the addiction and recovery specialist next year will be a full-time position, Monday through Friday, compared to this year where it was part-time. And we'll also be going, part of the job description will be changing, and they will be going into the classroom speaking relative to addiction. And we also will be having some clinical specialists coming to the meeting to opine on their opinion on what we should be doing. I think the medical community has a very good feel for what's going on. They know who they're seeing. They know where the problems are. And I think that they have some good recommendations on where we should be going, not just as a school system, but as a city, with prevention, education, but also that the prevention part does not help the deaths that are happening today. That will help us 5 or 10 years from now. But we have kids that are getting addicted to drugs today, that are losing their lives. I've buried 3 of my friends that I graduated with. And every day you pick up the paper, they're 24, 25 years old. They're losing their lives. The numbers from Trinity are staggering. It affects every area of this city, whether you're poor, rich, whether you're what race, ethnicity, it does not matter. Almost everybody has been affected by this tragedy. And I think we need to have a plan for the future. But more importantly, I think our plan is to make sure that we don't continue on the path of losing lives right now, today.
I guess my question to that would be, I wish we were more informed about that plan that you just spoke about. I think the committee should have been appraised of it. And in addition to that, like I said, the counselors are great, but it's what goes on in the classroom that affects these kids every single day. And it's ultimately, it's about education at every level. And that's the part of the dialogue that I want to have. And so counseling is one component, but having the classroom instruction and having the classroom impact on the students also has to be discussed. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd have everyone to observe our big decorum. Thank you very much for doing that. Mr. Bevilacqua.
I just want to make a couple observations. I remember at a meeting that I attended that we hosted where the district attorney a couple of years ago said, watch this issue, it's going to be coming. And it was the issue of heroin addiction. And it didn't happen right away, but it's hit very, very hard now throughout every community, throughout the state, and obviously throughout the country. I think the school committee, and I don't want to commend Mr. Wood, because I think the school committee has acted very, very quickly to get at least some action started on this. It's not perfect, because we don't have all the funds that we need, but I think at least we have a beginning, and there is now an effort made to address this issue, to try to provide help to those that need help, and to put the word out that don't be afraid to come forward for help if you need help. One of the things that we all know, and I've been speaking to several people about this over the last several weeks, is that they're telling me that we need to get into the earliest possible grades, as early as grade 3, to start talking to people about these, start talking to our kids in school. That's when they tell us we have to get that message across. And I know it's a big effort, and I know that after talking with Representative Dempsey and others, that it's an issue that's taken over the state. You know, as you know, Governor Baker has addressed it now. It's becoming an issue that everybody is seeing. So I think that we need to just simply look at this issue, see how we best approach it in Haverhill, but keep building on our effort. But I think we have a solid start. And I look back maybe 6 or 7 months ago, there was really nothing in place. And in a very, very short time period, we've reached out, we've made the community aware that we take this very seriously. We know you as teachers, and in the classroom you see it, you're concerned about it obviously, and we want to make sure that these kids sitting here today, God forbid, never have to address this issue, and their parents. So I look forward to us building the effort and continuing to build on it, but I think we have a solid start where 6 to 7 months ago, we really didn't have anything in place. And I want to commend the mayor because of the fact that it's now become not just a school committee, it's not just a city issue, but it's a united effort as a city going forward. And it has to take the role of a community. It has to involve the churches and the places of worship. It has to involve the Boys and Girls Clubs, the community action agencies. It has to involve everybody because this is a community issue that affects everyone. And as Scott mentioned, it doesn't matter where you come from or your background. Everyone is targeted. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wood.
Thank you. I don't want there to be a false perception. Part of my first motion, and every school committee member here should know that because we all voted on it, was to review the curriculum and to look at getting into education early. That's what we all voted on. Now, I don't know, maybe we need a reminder of what the minutes were or what we did. But to say that we haven't looked at it, we all voted on it. We've done it. And we do need education. And no one has said that we don't need education, but it needs to be an educational, a clinical component to it. It's not all education. It's not a 100% clinical component or a law enforcement component. It's a multi-pronged effort. And to say that we're not doing that or to insinuate that I brought the idea. I believe I'm the only school committee member that put any ideas forward and that brought this issue up. And I've been out in the community asking for donations, asking for volunteers, setting up these events all by myself with the help of nobody. So I understand it's one thing. We can certainly pander which way we want to pander, but the record shows for itself. The minutes show for itself. We already voted on the education component, and we asked the superintendent directly to address this issue relative to redoing the curriculum and getting education to kids at a younger level. If that motion hasn't been followed, but that is part of the record, so I don't want anybody to think anything differently.
Thank you very much.
That's the truth.
Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your leadership on this issue. I think it's the #1 issue in the city right now. It's tragic what's happening, people dying, and we had a department head meeting about it today. One of the things we'll be doing citywide is putting out and looking for grant money. We have a grant writer now for the city and the schools, and we believe the governor's report on opiate addiction will come out sometime next week. And our top priority is going to be to look at that report and get whatever grant money that comes with that, because this is such a critical problem. So thank you again for your leadership. Any other comments from the school committee members? Are there any subcommittee reports? The next item on the agenda is new business. The superintendent recommends approval of warrant number EV 201-50612 totaling $872,888, and warrant number JE 201-50612 totaling $10,187 as indicating in the agenda material. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Attorney Maglio-Ketty.
Abstain.
Mrs. Danahy.
Yes.
Mr. Bevilacqua.
Abstain.
Mrs. Ryan Ciadello.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mayor Fiorentini.
Yes, item passes. Items by consensus. Is there any request to remove any of the items?
Motion to approve 5A and 5B.
Is there a
Second.
second? Would you call the roll, please?
Actually, can we call them separately, please?
All right. Would you call the roll on 5A, which is to recommend approval of the minutes of May 28th?
Discussion?
Is there a motion first?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Maglio-Ketty.
I reviewed the minutes, and there was just one thing that I noted in the discussion about the FERPA compliance. If you look on the general updates, it says that student records and are in compliance within the district. The term used by City Solicitor Cox was in substantial compliance. So I'd like to insert the word substantial before compliance. Or substantially in compliance.
What page is that on?
I refer to the record for the correction.
Could you just tell me the page it's on,
Page
please?
3 of 4 of the minutes.
Okay,
Second paragraph down.
thank you.
Is that your motion?
I moved it be amended to accurately reflect the record, yeah.
Does anyone second that?
Second.
All right. Would you call the roll on that motion to amend?
Attorney Maglio-Ketty.
Yes.
Mrs. Danahy.
Yes.
Mr. Bevilacqua.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan Ciadello.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mayor Fiorentini.
Yes. Would you call the roll on the amended motion?
Attorney Maglio-Ketty.
Yes.
Mrs. Danahy.
Yes.
Mr. Bevilacqua.
Yes.
Mrs. Ryan Ciadello.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mayor Fiorentini.
Yes, motion passes. I understand, Mr. Scully.
We have one,
We have 5B.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Move approval of item number 5B.
Legal bills in the firm of Lyons and Rogers totaling $1,920. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Attorney Maglio-Ketty.
No.
Mrs. Danahy.
Yes.
Mr. Bevilacqua.
We passed discussion stage, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, we're in voting stage.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You abdicated? No, I just wanted to make a point if I could.
We are past the discussion
I'm sorry.
stage, Joe. I'm sorry, we're calling the roll. Perhaps I was a little quick on calling the...
Yes.
but,
I
I
vote
can
yes
take
only
it
because we
back.
have an obligation to pay the bill, although I'm disappointed that we had to challenge our own city solicitor for a legal opinion, which now takes $2,000 out of your educational fund.
Who challenged the city solicitor?
All right, all right. Thank you for the vote. Keep calling the roll, please.
Miss-
I voted yes.
You are, yes.
Voted yes.
Mrs. Ryan Ciadello.
Yes.
Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Mayor Fiorentini.
Yes, motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, I understand there is a request for executive session.
Yes, there is.
And what is the reason for the executive
Litigation and contract negotiations,
and grievances?
as requested, yes,
Yes.
by the city solicitor.
All right, is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
The committee will reconvene. Is there
No,
going
we
to
may-
be
we may
anything
need to
conceivably where we might have to come back into public session?
I'm not sure.
Yes, because we will,
There is, okay.
there's a potential of announcing our decisions on those hearings, and we usually announce them in public
public.
session after.
Okay, the committee will go into executive session, assuming a roll call vote is on that, and we'll reconvene in public session downstairs. All in favor of executive session?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Committee's adjourned, and we'll go into
Good night,
executive
everyone.
session.